Most of us think renting a car long-term is throwing money away. And I too genuinely believed the same for most of my life, until I met my financial advisor, Mr. Albert. He ran the real numbers for me properly, year by year, and honestly, what I found out made me realize the real math behind it. This calculation is so simple that even a 13-year-old would be able to tell correctly what is right and what is wrong for them. Because the answer is not what you might expect it to be. And if you are about to buy a car or are already renting one and feeling guilty about it, you must know this basic calculation. And trust me, this is the only math you need before making any decision, so watch it till the end. Now before we go ahead, meet these two friends, Ryan and James. They both live in the same neighborhood, work in the same company, and earn the same salary, which is $61,000 a year. Both needed a car to commute. Ryan rents a car, while James buys one. Both think they're making a smarter move, but in reality, only one of them actually is, and it's probably not the one you're expecting. James does what most people do. He walks into a dealership, picks out a $27,000 sedan, puts $3,000 as a down payment, and takes out a 60-month loan at 6.5% interest, which equates to $469 as his monthly installment. He gets a sense of achievement, like he's finally building something, an asset, equity, something that's actually his, something that he can probably show off. While Ryan chooses to rent a car for $620 a month, which was the same class of vehicle, which came including insurance, maintenance, routine services, everything. And the moment he tells people about it, they look at him disappointed. His dad thinks he's being irresponsible. His coworker calls it dead money. And on the surface, they have a valid point. Ryan is paying $151 more per month than James from his pocket for a car he'll never own. Except that's not the whole story. Here's what nobody tells you when they say buying is always better than renting. James's $469 only covers the loan installment amount. Additionally, he pays for insurance, another $140 a month, around $100 on maintenance and servicing monthly in year one, even with a warranty. So James's real monthly cost isn't $469, it's close to $710, while Ryan is paying $620 for everything included. Suddenly, the guy everyone was calling irresponsible is actually spending less per month than the guy who's supposedly building equity. But honestly, it gets more complicated than that, and this is the part where most people stop paying attention, and that's why they keep making the wrong decision. By the end of year one, James has spent roughly $8,600, which includes his loan payments, insurance, and maintenance. His car, which he paid $27,000 for, is now worth around $21,000, and his remaining loan balance is sitting at about $22,500. That means he owes more than the car is worth. He's clearly in negative equity, and nobody warned him that this was going to happen. Now Ryan, who rented a car rather than buying one, has spent $7,440 in total annually. No debt, no depreciation risk, no negative equity. And before you say it, yes, he has no asset either. But ask yourself this. At the end of year one, would you rather have spent $8,600 and be in negative equity on a depreciating asset, or spent $7,440 with nothing owed to anyone? Honestly, that question doesn't have an obvious or a universal answer, and that's exactly the point. Now here's where it starts getting really interesting, and I need you to stick with me for a second because this next part is exactly where most people's assumptions just fall apart. If you find this video genuinely helpful, consider liking this video and subscribing to Albert Knows Why. If not, I would love to know your feedback in the comments section below so we can improve. Now let's get back to the topic. Year 3. James has now paid around $16,900 in loan payments, $5,000 in insurance, and around $2,500 in maintenance. He's paid over $24,000 in total out of his pocket on a car that some of us think is an asset. His car is worth roughly $15,500 and his loan balance is down to about $13,500. He finally has positive equity, around $2,000. 3 years in and he has $2,000 to show for it an asset value above what he owes. In these 3 years, Ryan has spent $22,300 in rental fees. Yes, he owns nothing, but he's also never once had a surprise bill, never had a stressful month because something broke at the wrong time, and his total spend is still lower than James's. At year 3, the honest truth is this: neither of them is clearly winning. The numbers are close, The lifestyle trade-offs are real on both sides. But then year 5 arrives and things change significantly. At month 60, James makes his final loan payment. That's it, done. After 5 years of grinding through that commitment, the car is completely his. No loan, no lender, just a title with his name on it. His monthly car costs collapse from around $720 down to roughly $270, insurance plus routine maintenance. That's a $430 drop in his monthly expenses overnight. Ryan is still paying $620 a month, and by now, with a small rate adjustment from the rental company, the rental fee is up to $645 a month. Still less of a headache, still no surprises, but still at least $645 a month forever, with no finish line, no moment where that number drops, no asset waiting for him at the end. From month 61 onwards, James is spending less than half of what Ryan spends every month on his car. The difference is $375 a month. That's $4,500 a year. That's real money quietly shifting from one person's life to the other's. And because it's debited monthly from his account, it doesn't seem like a relatively big loss. Fast forward to year 8. Let's do the math for both Ryan and James. Ryan has paid roughly $60,500 in total rental costs over 96 months, which is 8 years, and he has no car that he can call his own, nothing he could sell, trade, or use as a financial cushion if life got hard. Just 8 years of payments into something that was never his. James has paid the following over 8 years: about $27,000 in total loan costs, $11,000 in insurance, and around $7,500 in maintenance, including one rough year where a suspension repair wiped out his buffer. In 8 years, he paid roughly $45,500 in total, but he has a car sitting in his driveway worth around $9,000. If we subtract his car's current worth, which is $9,000, from the total money spent, which is $45,500 over 8 years, his effective cost is around $36,500. Now this is the final calculation result. Ryan spent $60,500. James spent an effective $36,500. James is ahead by over $20,000, and the gap grows every single month from here because his costs have dropped dramatically as he now owns the car, while Ryan's never will as he's still renting. Now, does that mean buying a car is always better than renting one? Because as per Ryan and James's calculations, that is what it looks like. There are situations in our lives where renting a car makes more financial sense than buying one, and we must all understand that clearly while keeping our emotions in check. For instance, if your job moves you between cities every 2 or 3 years, buying creates extra unnecessary burden, as you would then need to work on selling your car, dealing with timing, and managing negative equity during a move. The flexibility of renting isn't just comfort, it has actual financial value that the numbers don't fully capture. If you're in an unstable period of life, a career shift, a major life change, and you genuinely don't know where you'll be in 18 months, committing to a 60-month car loan is a real gamble. Renting keeps your options open, and sometimes that optionality is worth more than equity. And here's one that genuinely surprises people. In the early years, as we just showed, renting can actually cost you less per month than buying when you factor in all of James's real costs. If you took that difference and invested it consistently every single month without fail into something that grows at even 7 or 8% annually, you could close the long-term gap and potentially come out ahead. The math actually works. The problem is almost nobody does it. The money doesn't quietly flow into investments, it flows into life. Be brutally honest with yourself about whether you're actually the person who would do that, because most people aren't, and there's no shame in admitting it. So here's the real answer to the question this video started with. Is renting a car just throwing money away? Well, not necessarily. In the right circumstances for the right person, it's a completely rational financial decision. But for most of us with a stable income, a settled life, driving a normal car in a normal city, buying and holding that car until it's paid off and then keeping it for as long as it runs will leave us significantly wealthier over time. Not because a car is a great investment. It isn't. It is in fact a depreciating asset as it loses value from the moment you drive it, but because eventually the payments stop. And the day your payments stop is the day your financial life quietly gets a lot more room to breathe.
The real mistake isn't renting. The real mistake isn't buying. The real mistake is making a decision that will shape your finances for the next 5 to 10 years based entirely on a monthly payment number, without ever sitting down and asking the one question that actually matters. What does this cost me in total from start to finish when it's finally over? Run that number, use this simple calculation, then decide, because that number will tell you more about this decision than any salesman, any family member, and honestly, any monthly payment ever will. See you in the next one.